You know, the topic of LA Knight has been running wild ever since Friday night's episode of SmackDown, where he lost the final of the Last Time Is Now tournament to Gunther. He lost the right to wrestle John Cena on Saturday night's main event, to wrestle John Cena in his last match ever, as if the LA Knight enthusiasts or the WWE fans that are very much pro LA Knight, for some reason these people thought that LA Knight was going to be the one chosen by WWE upper brass and management to wrestle who they think is the greatest of all time. Listen, I know people want something to believe in, but at some point you have to be a realist. That was never going to happen. He lost to Gunther on Friday. Come Monday, as of this past Monday's Raw, at the end of the show, LA Knight, for lack of a better word here, LA Knight was buried. I don't want to say buried in a sense where they buried him and then he's on his way out of WWE like Ricochet went to AEW and then basically buried himself. LA Knight was buried, and a lot of fans now are crying on social media, wondering, what does LA Knight need to do? When is LA Knight going to get his chance to be Jey Uso? Apparently, fans complained so much enough that there are now reports that people within the WWE are confused as to why fans think that they are treating LA Knight poorly, and they are confused as to why the fans are thinking and feeling the way that they are. So today, we're going to do a deep dive, and we're going to be ultra realistic, and we're going to spread some truth here. Might drop a pipe bomb or two here on this LA Knight situation, because WWE, they do one thing and one thing very well. If you get yourself over, and then bitch and moan and complain about it in your own way, about why you're not being used the way you feel like you should be used, why don't we just go ask Killer Cross how that worked out for him? Usually they end up burying you because you spoke out against what their actual plans are for you. So we're going to talk about that today. Let me talk to you. See what I did there? This is Off the Script for your Thursday, December 11th, 2025. So like I said, Last Time Is Now tournament, Friday, he lost to Gunther. Guys, I don't know where you're getting your news. LA Knight was never scheduled to win this tournament. Who knows what would have happened with LA Knight if Sheamus didn't get hurt? I don't even think Sheamus would have made it past, or LA Knight rather would have made it past Sheamus. I was hoping for a Sheamus Gunther final. We got an LA Knight and Gunther final instead, which ended up being very good, so no complaints there. But you got to ask yourself and be real with you, did you expect LA Knight to seriously win this tournament when we all knew when Gunther was announced and his comeback was announced, his return to the company was announced, that Gunther wasn't going to win this tournament? It doesn't matter who was in there. I mean, they could have dug up the fucking legends of the past and put them in this tournament, and Gunther was always going to be scheduled to win this tournament. He lost to Gunther in what I thought was a very good match. Fast forward to Monday Night Raw. Knight ended up being taken out of the arena in an ambulance after Bronson Reed hit him with a massive tsunami off the top of a production crate that were stacked up on top of each other, on top of a car, in a backstage segment while Monday Night Raw went off the air. That was after 2 tsunamis in the ring and then a powerbomb backstage with Logan Paul and Bronson Reed through a table. Now, it was a fitting cap to what's been overall a down year for the quote-unquote megastar. Creatively speaking, he hasn't had a good year. I don't know why WWE seemingly is confused here, which I'll get into in a second. So let's go back to the Royal Rumble. Do you guys remember that LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, all this nonsense going on around the Royal Rumble time, and it was supposed to be Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest at WrestleMania? Apparently something got leaked to the dirt sheets that one or the other was upset and disappointed that that was their WrestleMania direction, LA Knight in the Rumble, apparently, and again, if you go back and watch it, I still don't know what happened. Somewhere along the lines, there was a miscommunication. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He messed up Drew McIntyre's elimination. Apparently, something got fucked up, and then it hit the dirt sheets that somebody was being blamed for what was supposed to be a more substantial elimination, and that elimination didn't really go off the way that they wanted to. Now, if you look at that, clearly WWE came out the next week and made fun of the dirt sheets, because that's what they do and that's what they love to do. So they poked fun at it, calling it basically bullshit, and they brought awareness to it because it started to gain a lot of traction in and around social media. So they make fun of it almost as if they tried to tell you that it was planned the way that it was, but it really wasn't. So I don't know who got blamed there. I still firmly believe that WWE management blamed LA Knight for that situation because he was dancing around in there, and Logan Paul was in that segment as well, and someone was waiting to get their shit in, and LA Knight was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I do believe that WWE ended up placing the blame on LA Knight because they're not going to blame Damian Priest, who they love. They're not going to blame Logan Paul, and they're not going to blame Drew McIntyre. So the lesser of the three, LA Knight, he gets the finger of blame. So that's number one. He then failed to qualify for the Men's Elimination Chamber match, which was one of my favorite matches in WWE all year. Lost his Men's United States Championship to Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania 41 after losing it first to Nakamura, who had an absolutely awful title run, for LA Knight to then win it and do absolutely nothing with it, only to then lose it to Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania this year. He failed at winning Money in the Bank. He failed to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. He came up short multiple times to become the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship and got replaced at the top by Jey Uso. They moved him over from SmackDown, by the way, to Monday Night Raw, where he was actually one of the top baby faces on the brand, probably number 2 behind Cody Rhodes, to then solidly sitting at number 3 on Monday Night. 4 if you want to include Roman. So he moves over to from SmackDown to Raw, where he was 2 under Cody, and then he goes over to Raw, where you got Jey Uso and CM Punk, and then LA Knight squarely sitting at number 3, and then you want to include Roman number 4, sitting atop the top babyface list on Monday night. So they gave him a demotion, really. The way that I look at it, they gave him a demotion. So this year has been subpar. He's been in every major situation that WWE's asked him to be in, but it's been a subpar year. WWE never willingly showed any effort to push LA Knight in a way that the fans wanted to see as a top guy, yet his popularity with the audience has never wavered. It's only maintained its momentum, which is unbelievable to me. And for that reason, apparently, there are reports now that WWE has major plans for LA Knight in 2026. This comes after reports from WrestleVotes. I love WrestleVotes, but I look back at this and I can't help but think when we hear, oh yeah, LA Knight's planned for a major push in 2026, to go back to this gem, and it's not WrestleVotes' fault because things change, but Finn Balor was in line for a push in 2025, a singles push in 2025. This was reported in December of 2024. I'm still waiting on that Finn Balor singles push that apparently went around the dirt sheets in late 2024. Yeah, I take this LA Knight story about him being pushed in 26 just as much as I did this Finn Balor story back at the tail end of 2024. Give me a fucking break. LA Knight's not getting a push in 2026, and if he does, I'd be shocked. So give me a break with this nonsense. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and WWE sends shit out to the dirt sheets to calm everybody down on social media because the fans looked at what happened on Monday, and outrage filled social media. A number of WWE fans accused the company of burying LA Knight with this beatdown on Raw by The Vision. However, new reports suggest that the company does not view the segment the way the fans are viewing the segment. People within WWE are reportedly confused by the outrage over Knight's booking on the show. Fightful Select has reported, and WWE stated it was simply a standard story that will be revisited. The beatdown was intended to advance the story rather than diminish LA Knight's standing on the roster. One conspiracy theory online suggested Knight was being punished for holding up a "We Want LA Knight, Not Jey Uso" sign a few months ago. People within WWE have claimed that this isn't the case, with one source in WWE Creative stating that Knight being booked to defeat Jey Uso in the Last Time Is Now tournament would be a weird punishment. I don't think you had any choice in the matter, because you either give us something that we haven't seen with LA Knight and Gunther, or you upset the fan base even more by having Uso beat LA Knight and then giving us Uso and Gunther again for a fucking sixth time. Take your pick. So I'm not buying that as a valid answer to Sap's question here. Bullshit. And I'll get back to the "We Want LA Knight, Not Jey Uso" sign in a second. A new report over from the guys over at bodyslam.net indicates the fans' patience and faith in LA Knight will be rewarded in some fashion next year, at least eventually. They say sources indicate that 26 will be a much better year for Knight. Knight is being positioned as one of the top baby faces in the company. He's already been positioned as one of the top baby faces in the company, not being. Please word your stuff correctly. He's not being positioned. He's already one of the top baby faces in the company. So automatically, I discredit this report. With him being involved with the vision, it's only going to grow the crowd reactions in a more positive way. The company is aware of the reactions and wants to play the long game with LA Knight. Man, this is one of them. What is this? One of them. We're still in the third inning nonsense. You remember that, Paul Heyman? Yeah, we're still in the third inning, bro. It's been 4 years now. Give me a break. It's been 2 years, 3 years now with LA Knight. We're not in the fucking third inning. The long game. How much longer do we want to go, man? How many people are you thinking are going to be sitting in the fucking stands at that baseball game watching a fucking boring middle of the season game that means nothing that's going into the 18th inning? Give me a break. No, they're leaving to beat the fucking traffic to go home, to go do something else. Body Slam stopped short of putting a ceiling on what LA Knight can accomplish in 26, but a Jey Uso level push would be a welcome sight for many of the LA Knight enthusiasts. LA Knight also won't be leaving WWE anytime in the near future, as he signed a new contract in the company in 2024 and has years left on his deal. I'm assuming he signed a 5-year deal. LA Knight made a name for himself as one of the top babyfaces in the industry and remains a key figure on the Monday Night Raw brand. Can we go back? Because I got bodyslam.net saying this, so it prompted me to queue up what we've gotten from LA Knight, and I'm going to take it back to when he lost the United States Championship at WrestleMania to Jacob Fatu. That following week, SmackDown. Number one contendership for the United States Championship, Drew McIntyre beat LA Knight by disqualification. Damian Priest beat LA Knight by no contest, or he went to a no contest. So he didn't even beat Damian Priest. He wrestled 15 minutes on the May 2nd edition of SmackDown. Damian Priest and LA Knight then beat Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Fatal 4-way, Jacob Fatu defeats Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight at Backlash. JC Mateo debuts, and he beats LA Knight in 15 minutes on the May 16th edition of SmackDown. Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat. LA Knight beats Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura. Seth Rollins then won Money in the Bank. King of the Ring first round fatal 4-way. Randy Orton beats Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight, so he didn't even qualify to get into the next round of the King of the Ring tournament. LA Knight then beats Bronson Reed by DQ on the June 20th edition. Jimmy Uso and LA Knight defeat the MFTs, JC Mateo and Solo Sikoa. That was on the 7-11 edition of SmackDown. Then he moves over to Raw in the summer of 25. World Heavyweight Championship number one contendership gauntlet. CM Punk beat Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Penta to win the right to wrestle Gunther at SummerSlam. World's Heavyweight Championship title match. Rollins beats LA Knight by DQ on the 8-4 edition of Raw. Then he starts to team with CM Punk. LA Knight and CM Punk defeat the Vision. Braun Breaker beats LA Knight. Vision, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed beat Jey Uso and LA Knight. Bronson Reed beats LA Knight one-on-one. The Vision, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed defeat Jimmy Uso and LA Knight again on the 9-15 edition. The following week, Jey Uso beats LA Knight. LA Knight beats Kofi Kingston. Number one contendership triple threat match. CM Punk beats Jey Uso and LA Knight on the October 13th edition. Battle Royal for the number one contendership. Jey Uso wins the right to get a number one contendership on the October 20th edition of Monday Night Raw. Following week, Breaker beats LA Knight. Last time is now tournament where he starts getting wins. So he starts to win. He beats Zack Ryder. He beats Solo Sikoa in a trick or street fight. That was a dark match, apparently. I don't even know that happened. He beats Zack Ryder in the tournament. He beats The Miz in the tournament. He beats Jey Uso in the tournament. And then he loses to Gunther. Folks, how do you look? How do you look at this line sheet of fucking LA Knight's year as a professional wrestler and then have any hope that he's going to be pushed in a meaningful way in 2026? WWE absolutely takes LA Knight for granted. Go back to the Royal Rumble. It was the miscue in the Royal Rumble that fucked up Drew McIntyre's substantial elimination because they were trying to set up Priest and McIntyre for a program at WrestleMania, and that was supposed to begin in the Royal Rumble, and it didn't go the way that they wanted to. And somewhere along the line, there was miscommunication between LA Knight and Logan Paul, or LA Knight and where Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest were supposed to be in that segment within the Rumble. LA Knight got blamed. Then you go to the situation where fans are now pointing the finger of blame at this situation where a fan in the front row, while he was walking away after a match, he held up a sign that said, LA Knight, we want LA Knight, not Jey Uso. You mean to tell me, you want me to believe the WWE is telling SAP, I think everybody that thinks this way is a conspiracy theorist. This is a storyline that's supposed to advance the storyline, and we're going to revisit it at a later time when he gets back. We just wrote him off TV now to sell the storyline. What storyline? You mean the storyline that you've been telling with LA Knight and a mixture of baby faces against the Vision for what, 8 months now? Where's the payoff? Where is the payoff? What are we waiting for? I don't think WWE even knows what they're waiting for. This is the same company. You want me to believe that this company now is claiming, oh, this is all part of the plan. We got big things in store for them. This is the same company that history has shown, if you speak up in any way, whether it's literally, verbally, through actions and no words, it doesn't matter. If you try to get yourself over, if you try to complain about your standing on television or within the company, if you try to complain about what you're not getting and what you feel like you should be getting and deserve, this company will bury you. WWE blamed LA Knight for the Royal Rumble miscue. WWE absolutely punished LA Knight for holding up a sign, we want LA Knight and not Jey Uso. You mean to tell me that they're all right with somebody verbally expressing their displeasure with the fucking overabundance of Jey Uso this year? The beloved Anoa'i family. You can't say anything bad to them. That's a fucking cardinal sin number one. That'll get you in whatever version of Guantanamo Bay it is in WWE. And you're seeing it with LA Knight. Give me a break. Go X Killer Cross. How that worked out for him when he tried to get himself over. When he tried to take things into his own hands and tried to enhance what he was building upon away from the WWE vision that they had for him, which was nothing. He tried to get himself over. He tried to get himself more TV time. He tried to get himself a more substantial place on the card. And he took things upon himself to try and sell himself, to try and get himself over where the company wasn't helping him to get over. And he did. And what did they do? They got rid of him. They let him walk. They fucked with him. They asked him, yeah, we want to sign you back. Give him a deal within 24 hours. They didn't even give him a deal which he could sit down and talk about it with his wife. Do we stay? Do we go? Should we act? Should we renegotiate? Do we this? Do we that? They gave him a contract with the option of you either take it or you don't. And only him. Yeah, we'll get to your wife when we get to her. No, motherfucker, we're a package deal. You take us or you don't. You get both of us or you don't. You don't get one or the other. I'm not going to leave my wife out to dry while I take this contract where I very much want to stay with you guys for less money. They let him walk. And they didn't give a shit. They were angry that he cut that promo with Sam Roberts, where he just dropped a version of a cross pipe bomb. WWE will punish you if you try to go and do more than they expect you to. If you are not getting what you think you deserve and you try to get yourself over and try to make the creative team and try to make the suits and ties look bad, then you will be punished. Vince did it. Vince was notorious for it. Triple H does it. And he's definitely done it. Cross is just one example. The fuck did he need Cross for? Do you see what they did to Cross? They replaced him within weeks. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are now the new Killer Cross and Scarlett. Oh, we got these guys for 5 years. What the fuck do we need those two for? Goodbye. WWE, they are a special bunch. And they obviously take their fans for granted. They obviously think their fans are fucking stupid. Bro, you look at LA Knight this year. How do you look at this if you're an LA Knight fan? Have any hope that they're going to change in 26? And how do you expect me to believe this report from SAP? Oh, this is a conspiracy theory. This is all a part of the plan. I'm confused about why the fans are thinking this way. What the fuck are you confused by? Look at the numbers. Look at the statistics. This guy has lost more than he's won this year. I don't understand why you would be so confused about the way the fans are feeling by the way he's been booked. He's done absolutely nothing. He's failed at the Rumble. He's failed at the Chamber. He's failed at WrestleMania. He's failed at Money in the Bank. He's failed at King of the Ring. He didn't even make War Games. And he's been feuding with these guys for the entire year. To take a spot in the tournament to fucking lose. Oh, but losing to Jey Uso, man, that would be some weird type of punishment. There was no other choice. For you to use that as an excuse about, oh, that would be a weird punishment. You had no other choice in the matter. It was either LA Knight or fucking the same shit that we've been given all year. You had to go with LA Knight. And again, I reiterate, we don't know what Sheamus would have done if he wrestled LA Knight, which was scheduled to be the match anyway. I don't understand it. The way you book your television is the only way that us fans can gauge how everything is going. When you see someone lose for 12 months straight, more than he wins, what the fuck do you want us to feel? What do you want us to think? I don't understand how people look at this in some fucking ass backwards way. You win on television, the fans look at you as a big deal. You lose, and then we start to ask questions. But this is a situation, this is a case where it's just every week, every month, every fucking situation that he's in, it's just, he gets nowhere. And granted, you might not be an LA Knight fan. You might not like LA Knight. You might not like his gimmick or his shtick or his fucking in-ring ability. You might think it's cringy. You might not even fucking give a shit about what I'm saying here. But the point of the matter is WWE, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then they want to turn it into sap. Oh, this is part of the plan. I think everybody's weird. I'm confused about why they think this way. There's nothing to be confused about. Look at the fucking numbers. Everything nowadays is on the internet and readily available for us to dive into. Do I think LA Knight is going to win the Royal Rumble? No. No, I don't. That is a huge long shot. WWE took a risk on Jey Uso last year, and honestly, I don't think WWE needs to take those types of risks. They need to give us something that is fucking substantial in story. They need to give us some story-rich, just WrestleMania-like fucking excitement this year. And listen, I like LA Knight. I mean nothing against LA Knight. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. LA Knight versus a Braun Breaker or LA Knight versus a CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania is not a WrestleMania main event. I do not look at LA Knight versus so-and-so in the main event of a WrestleMania as a WrestleMania main event. He's not been booked like one. You think by winning the Royal Rumble, he's automatically going to feel like a WrestleMania main event? No, he's not. He's not. Nor do I think WWE looks at LA Knight as a WrestleMania Night 1 main event against CM Punk or a Braun Breaker. You got to come back down to earth, man. LA Knight would be fucking the luckiest man alive if they appoint him a Rumble win in January. In Saudi, of all places. All I know is WWE cannot be this stupid. I got my own conspiracy theories. Someone in management doesn't like him. Someone in management has punished him. Someone in management has low-key punished him and then has given their opinion to Sapp and the other dirt sheets. Oh, it's weird. Fans are confused. I don't know why they think this way. Bro, history has shown itself that WWE punishes those who try to get over and try to show the management and the creative there that they are wrong in what they're doing. LA Knight has now fallen victim to that. I don't give a fuck what Sapp is reporting. I don't give a shit who is reporting what about his push in 26. LA Knight has been punished in some way, shape, or form. They got something here. He's in his 40s. He's not young. He's not young at all. But for him to go an entire WWE run without at least tasting a World Heavyweight Championship would be fucking criminal. With how over he is. You know, we tend to believe that the more you're over and the more you're wanted by the fans and the more merchandise you're selling and people chanting your name and this and that. I mean, that's the thing that Vince McMahon hung his hat on, if he wore a hat. He's made people champions because of the amount of merchandise they've sold month over month over month. He's made people champions because of the reactions that they get coming on out. And it doesn't happen all the time, or it didn't happen all the time with him, but he did take a chance on a Dolph Ziggler and a Jeff Hardy, guys like that. For LA Knight to not be lumped into that discussion would be fucking downright insane with how over he is. You got your Codys, and you got your Punks, and you got your Yeats, and your Romans. LA Knight is always going to be in the discussion of being some of the most over talents in the company. If he's not at your top, he's in the top 5. Easy. And it's every single fucking week. Nothing is wavered, nothing is dissipated, nothing is faded away. The company knows this. The company hears it. They've done nothing. Their actions speak louder than anything. Loss, 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 opportunity, 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 vanished into thin air. What would you like us to feel? If LA Knight does not win a world championship in 2026, the world's heavyweight, I'm not even talking about the WWE title, the world's heavyweight championship. If LA Knight doesn't win the world heavyweight championship next year, I genuinely don't know when his time is. We should have been talking about this and them striking while the iron is hot 2 years ago. We're now 3 years into this shit. He's lucky he even has a fucking job, to be honest with you. And for the fact of the matter that Triple H saved this guy's career, and that Triple H told him whatever, and he put his trust in Triple H to see nothing materialize out of it in 3 fucking years, because it's a business of patience. It's a business of waiting. You got to wait your time. We got to push the NOIs. We got to push the Samoans. If next year's not the time, then when the fuck is going to be the time? The guy's wrestled close to 70 matches this year. That's got to be at the top of the list. That's got to be at the top of the most active in-ring performers in WWE all year. The guy shows up. The guy's loyal. The guy does what he needs to do. Outside of the one instance where he held up that "We want LA Knight, not Jey Uso" sign, outside of that one instance, the guy has gone out there and done everything you asked him to do. Done it with a fucking a flair and a passion for what he does. And an energy that he gets from the fan base every single week. Make something of it. You got a substantial story there. Ride it. I don't know what you're waiting for. Give him his flowers. We're not asking for a 6-month title reign. We're asking for a moment. You're quick to make a moment with everybody else, but LA Knight can't get his fucking moment. Don't you think LA Knight winning a World Heavyweight Championship with how popular he is would be a fucking moment? This company lives on moments. That's all they do. They book their situations on television with a moment in mind and no fucking story. With LA Knight, you got a moment. And with LA Knight, you got a story. So what are we waiting for? Show the guy you actually appreciate what he's done. You relied on him more times than anybody else in the fucking company. Pay it forward. Give him what he deserves. He should already be the fucking world champion. In my opinion, he should be the world champion over Punk right now. And it should have been Knight versus Punk at main event in November. Saturday night's main event. And it should have been LA Knight winning the world championship. Punk has not made a fucking difference as the world champion. We're not hearing, CM Punk's got a great title reign. All we're hearing is we should put the belt on Braun Breaker. So if that's the discussion, why didn't LA Knight have a token 2-month title reign, make the fucking fans happy, drop it to Braun Breaker, and get us the guy that we want as the world champion? No, but WWE takes us for granted. They think we're fucking stupid. They're confused about how we feel this way. Why we feel this way. It's all part of the plan. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know how you feel about LA Knight in the comment section below. If LA Knight is not a champion, if LA Knight is not at least a Money in the Bank next year, maybe that's what they're waiting for. LA Knight 2026 Money in the Bank. We won't see that until August, because August, they got Money in the Bank in New Orleans a little bit later this year. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you confused? Is WWE wrong to be confused? Are they playing stupid? I think they are. Sound off in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think about this LA Knight story. And please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell with all notifications. Thank you guys very much. I'll be back with more content tomorrow. We got this Travis Scott story. Logan Paul exposed WWE and Travis Scott and the WWE Mania plans from this year. Why didn't they work out? Now, Logan Paul exposed why Travis Scott just bailed on WWE, and then we'll mix that in with what John Cena said about the Travis Scott Rock situation and what came out of the Rumble. He didn't care. Sure you did. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, but let me know what you guys think about this LA Knight story. Hit that thumbs up and go check out all the rest of the content on the channel. We were live on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday last night with Jesse. Jesse came back for the AEW Dynamite post, so go check that out right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Thursday, and I will be right back here tomorrow with more news on OTS. I'll see you guys later.